What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, we got the Companion Rework Part 1 with the Abyss of Dagath update. Part 2 will be in 2024 at some point. But with that rework, we got some new power-crept mods, and we're more powerful than ever with the Panzer Vulpaphyla. So we'll be doing a new Panzer Vulpaphyla build today. I'm going to technically have 3 builds, but one of them is definitely, I'd say, the strongest. But before we get into it and go over all these builds, make sure you're subbed to this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads. I've been going a little bit crazy on the uploads recently, so I should probably cool a little bit. I got a bit of a sore throat, so I probably won't be streaming tonight. Speaking of streaming, check out the live stream if you've not already. I'll probably be live tomorrow with Warframe, getting my Hydroid builds finalized for the next video. And then, some other stuff too, testing out some of the other Bond mods we're not using in this video. But I think I got some of the strongest stuff in the game right here. So I think we're set. Alright, so let's get it right into it. We're going to talk about the Panzer Vulpaphyla and what this thing does. So we got it right here. And what the Panzer Vulpaphyla does is it spreads viral procs to enemies. With the new Abyss of Dagath update, the new mods we've obtained are going to make this thing stronger than ever. It's actually going to start buffing you at this point too. So here's the build I'll be showing in the video as the main build. So we got viral quills just like before. We got Panzer Devolution just like before, and we got Martyr Symbiosis just like before. But a lot of this other stuff might be different to you depending on how you look at it. So as far as new mods, you've got Reinforced Bond and we've got Tenacious Bond. These mods cost 20,000 rep each, and they come from the vendors for conservation on Venus, Earth, and Deimos. So like basically the vendors that you catch the animals and give the tags to. So as far as what these mods do, they're going to be providing us damage buffs to our frame, actually, in the form of crit damage buffs and fire rate. So just reading how this works, Tenacious Bond, headshot kills reduce the companion's recovery timer by 3 seconds. Now, before we go over the rest of this, that does not apply to Panzer Devolution. It applies to the normal respawn timer of a companion, but as you can see, it's literally a 0 right there, because Panzer Devolution is separate from the respawn mechanic of the new companion rework. Panzer Devolution, just whenever it dies, it becomes like a mini sentinel and flies around following you for 30 seconds. It will also fire out viral quills while doing this. But yeah, that respawn timer is not reduced by basically anything. Continuing on though, if the companion's critical chance is above 50%, then you gain plus 1.2x final critical damage multiplier. So as long as our companion has over 50% crit chance, we will get increased crit damage on our frame. That's the only part of that mod you should really care about for the Panzer specifically. So look at our setup. We have 86% crit chance with the Bite mod. Now, up until about like 5 minutes ago, there was a hotfix that just came out. This Hunter Synergy mod was not working, and this is actually an option you can use now that they fixed it. It is going to link the critical chance of your primary to your companion and increase its crit chance, scaling off how much crit chance your primary has. But right now I've got no primary equipped, so for more reliability I'd say go with Bite. But if you don't have Bite maxed out, you don't even need to have it maxed out, honestly. You can do like level 3 or 4, I bet, and it would still be at 50. As long as you get the 50% crit chance, that's all you care about. So maxed out Bite, not necessary. Hunter Synergy, going to require a relatively high crit chance primary, but you can also do that too. So yeah, that's how we're getting our crit chance there. So we put this mod on to give us crit damage on our frame. And the other Bond mod is Reinforced Bond. If the companion has over 1,200 max shields or overshields, then your fire rate is increased by 60%. Reloading restores 150 overshields to your companion. So the way we're achieving this buff is going to be putting on the calculated redirection mod. As I'm running catalyzing shields in this build. There's no way I'm going to be getting over 1,200 shields on my Panzer. So we have 1,295 shields. So we are just above that with calculated redirection on this build. So as far as buffs we're providing to our frame right now, we're getting 60% fire rate. It also has 60% attack speed for melees too. And also, like 120% crit damage on all weapons. So, combine that with the viral procs we're getting from this. Also, Martyr Symbiosis can save. Basically, the Panzer will sacrifice itself, and it will potentially die instead of you when you get low health. We've also got Tech Assault. 60% chance when it sacrifices itself, it won't actually die. So you can just do that over and over again. So like almost infinite lives if you're super lucky. Prime Animal Instinct. We do have built-in enemy radar nowadays. So you don't really need this specifically, but hey, I need that loot radar to see where that loot is. If it's an Iatan Sculpture, I want the Iatan Sculpture. So you can technically take this off in the end. You've also got Fetch giving us a loot vacuum. As far as some other bond mods you could try out on the Panzer Vulpaphyla, I've tried out a couple of them, but one of the only good ones that seems on here is going to be Mystic Bond. We actually have that for the low-level Chillin build. After your companion uses an ability with cooldowns 5 times, you can cast a free WARFRAME ability. For me, that's not powerful enough, so I'm not going to run this. But yeah, every time it uses viral quills, that will count for this, and you'll be able to get a free ability every 5 viral quills. So just showing how this works, as you can see, we load in, we have the 60% fire rate, and we have the 120% crit damage buff. And, you know, let's actually just get some gameplay on the screen, because just showing in the Sim's not going to do much here. So starting off with the first build gameplay showcase, we've got the build I just showed. So it's going to be giving our Occucore increased crit damage, and give us our Occucore increased fire rate. It's going to let us really cleave enemies down quickly with these tendrils, as we're using Dagath's new augment Shadow Haze to give a massive crit chance buff to the Occucore. So, you know, very nice for just mowing enemies really quick with a beam weapon. Those heat procs stack up really quickly with the Occucore, and the Occucore doesn't really have that much crit chance normally. So we're just getting, it's very good synergy here, and not to mention these enemies are getting viral procs from the Vulpaphyla as well. So we are more powerful than ever with this build, guys. We went from just having viral procs, basically, to now we have viral procs, critical damage, and fire rate from this thing, and it will never go, these things will never go away. Not to mention, with the Abyss of Dagath update, now Vacuum is always active. Even when the Panzer is in its larval form, the Sentinel mode, the Vacuum's still active during that now, and it wasn't like that before. So it would be sometimes like that before, but now it's always active. So you have permanent Vacuum, almost universal Vacuum at this point. You've got these massive damage buffs. We are more OP than ever. I used a build similar to this for level 10,000 with Dagath yesterday. Although that build is a little bit different, and I am actually going to show that one here. Hopefully you got the idea of how this works. Okay, so yeah, big DPS buffs from the Panzer on build number 1. Build number 2 will be more focused on, you know, if you really want to use that buff equilibrium and you are really energy hungry. So the way this one works is it's very similar to the previous build. We've actually even got Tenacious Bond on here still for more crit damage on our frame. But the difference here is we have Synth Deconstruct. Since the Panzer can throw out the viral quills so constantly hitting enemies all over the place, enemies injured by the companion have a 25% increased drop chance for health orbs when killed. With the recently buffed Equilibrium mod, you want as many orbs on the ground as possible, because those orbs would become energy orbs. So very good there, gives you just more orbs everywhere, and you'll have a constant flow of energy. As far as the other stuff, since we are using one of our mod slots for Synth Deconstruct, we don't have enough space to do the whole calculated redirection and reinforced bond setup, unless you want to take off one of these other mods. So we've gone for Sharpened Claws. The companion will do a full armor strip like every so often. Not super important, because we can armor strip very easily in this game nowadays, but it's still a powerful ability for endurance runs. The rest of the stuff is very similar to the previous build. And then for the final build, this is going to be going off of the recently buffed health stats and all that for companions. This is more of a low-level Chillin build. We've got Enhanced Vitality, which now works on companions that are not robots. We've got Metal Fiber, also not for robots anymore, and Calculated Redirection, not for robots anymore. If you don't have a high health build or anything like that, these mods are technically better than the Link mods, but if you do have a build with high armor and high health, go with the Link mods instead, as they scale off of your frame's stats. And since we do have a shield mod on here, we can go with Reinforced Bond to get that extra 60% fire rate and attack speed on any weapon. The rest of the stuff is very similar, and just showing how much health this thing's going to have with those set up: 2,380 health, 1050 armor, and 1295 shield. Still going to like instantly die at high levels, but as you can see, we still got our massive attack speed buff, and now that we have auto melee, you can really utilize the attack speed quite nicely. So that's basically it for the video, guys. I don't want it to be super long here. I got more videos to record right after this one, so Panzer Vulpaphyla, better than ever. You can get it from Deimos. The mutagen stuff doesn't really matter as much. Like, if anyone says mutagens matter, okay, sure. It dies instantly and comes back to life, so what's the big problem here? So I'll see you guys next video. Go enjoy that power crep Panzer Vulpaphyla. And yeah, I'll have probably like a worm video out in the next couple days too, as well as Hydrite, etc., etc. Appreciate all the support, guys. Take it easy. Peace.